Councilmember Costi,
Present.
Councilmember Hotchkiss,
Present.
Council President Matavetsky.
Present.
Thank you.
Now we move on to reports from committees. Oh, no, we'll do approval of the minutes first. Yeah.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. Or was it you? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? 2 minutes. All right. So that was let me just go back and double check here. That was the minutes for the first one for August 21st. Just to clarify. Yes. Person who made the motion. Yeah, great. So now we can move on to the minutes from the special business meeting on August 29th.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Now we can move on to reports from committees and commissions. Does anyone have anything they'd like to report? Councilman Hotchkiss.
Thank you. We had our planning committee meeting earlier today to talk about some zoning changes. The video should be available. I think it's going to be some good changes for the city that's going to help loosen some restrictions to allow for different types of development that would otherwise not be viable in the city. Yeah, check that out if you're interested, or review the legislation that's attached to that packet. So
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilwoman Middleton.
I do know that we do have an MPA meeting coming up next week, Monday at 11, yeah. Next week, Monday at 11, we have an MPA meeting. And so we'll be discussing the rental registry and just, I think that's it. Yeah, rental registry. So just wanted to report that.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilman Kavanaugh.
We had a finance committee meeting on the 27th. So we are a lot of the results of that are coming up tonight. We had Corporation Counsel there to discuss the legal fee, some more details of the legal fee adjustments. The movement of CHOTO funding for First Word Action Council and CUNY Realty Development to bolster their applications. And then salary adjustments for the licensing clerk and raises for the clerk and deputy clerk for next year. So we've that was all in the committee meeting. Feel free to view. And then we're discussing some Kearney stuff tonight, so and the legal stuff. So we'll save that for later.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. There's a traffic board meeting tomorrow at 9:15 a.m. In addition to the agenda that's posted, there's a space for public comment. So if you have a traffic board issue and you have not submitted your form with to the traffic board, you can still come in person at 9:15 a.m. tomorrow, right here in council chambers. The Environmental Commission did do our the CAP report that we asked for, and I'm going to ask our clerk to read into the record from the Environmental Commission minutes on what was voted as the report.
So a summary of the 3 actions we will share with City Council. 1, develop SMART goals for all CAP goals that are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, target quantities and goal attainment dates, and identify responsible implementers, agencies, and departments. 2, DEC recommends at least 1 community-wide GHG reduction target, currently net zero by 2035, and a set of prioritized initiatives for reducing GHG emissions. Develop a survey and provide a community input opportunity for the prioritization of city GHG reduction measures. Ms. Seafried to develop, Councilwoman Matavetsky to share with the Southside Neighborhood Assembly as a pilot, then to be distributed across the city. Improve the frequency and accuracy of data collection on GHG related CAP activities, especially fuel, natural gas, and electricity usage. Develop methods and ongoing practices for the collection of data from departments and sharing with the Commission for continuous benchmarking and review.
Thank you. Additionally, the commission's been looking into blue bags. Councilman Hotchkiss, myself, and Chairman Day went up to Cortland to meet with the mayor there. Cortland has transitioned from blue bags to what they call totes. So we were learning a bit about how they've made that shift. They have different setup than we do here. Some will be some knowledge may be transferable and others may not, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew that we've been continuing to learn more about trash pickup and its implications. I think one of the interesting things with the change that was of note was that their recycling amount did not drop. Their trash collection, something like doubled, if I remember right. But their recycling did not decline with the totes. So more from that as we continue to learn more about trash. Okay. With that, we will move on to appointments. We have 2 appointments to consider today. We'll start with the mayor's appointment of Timothy. There we go, Snesny, to the Planning Commission following the resignation of Steve Sieperslad. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Is
I'll
there a
second.
Okay, motion by Councilwoman Middleton, seconded by Councilman Costi. Discussion. Councilman Hotchkiss.
Yeah, I don't love this whole process that we're maintaining around appointments, especially joint appointments. I don't know how the mayor is soliciting potential candidates for his appointment that then come to us. I think the nature of a joint appointment is that there is some input from both bodies, and in this case, we are in a position where we can only select from the candidate pool that is put before us. Like, I don't have anything against Timothy. I don't know him yet. I haven't had a chance to call him. But I do have an issue with the way that we're moving forward with this type of appointment. And I wish we had more time to solicit other applicants or people, or solicit more interest in the planning commission. People have approached me before, but if it's that they're interested in being on the planning commission, and had I known that there was this opportunity, I would put their resume to the mayor or ask other people if they were interested in that role. So I'd like to I think I'd like to hold over, do a motion to hold over this appointment, just so that we could try to solicit more applicants or candidates for the commission.
I was gonna say, the only thing with that, will it affect?
I was gonna say, do we want to get a second on that motion?
I'll second the motion because
Okay.
I'd like to at least have a conversation with Tim.
Okay,
Yes.
so motion by Councilman Hotchkiss, seconded by Councilman Dundon. Discussion on the holdover.
Sorry, no,
Yeah.
I just had a question. Will that affect like anything on the board? Okay, that's fine. That's fair, as long as it doesn't
Okay,
affect anything
All right.
moving. It's fine.
so Councilman Kavanaugh.
I in general agree with everything that Councilman Hotchkiss said as far as the giving us a choice of people, possibly bringing them in for a little interview here, even in council, and certainly giving you folks more time to talk to the potential candidate and the candidate. Having said all that, I've known Tim Sesney for years. I don't know how the mayor picks people either, but I was pleasantly surprised to see his name pop up. He is a very fine, upstanding, interested citizen of Binghamton. He's a business owner on South Side. Also maintains a couple of rental properties as well, so he's got that perspective on things. Was a paramedic for years, was also did county coroner work. So he has been in every sort of building in the city of Binghamton, and has done. He is also quite modest and would not comment, I'm sure, on the amount of times, the amount of times he has reached way above and beyond what any business person would be asked to do to comfort families, to give them essentially very low cost or free services when they're in need and stuff. He is one of the best, most upstanding human beings I know. And so I was pleasantly surprised to see his name pop up. If he's willing to serve, I absolutely back his nomination, and absolutely am totally fine with you folks taking some time to get to know him and going on. So
I will jump on that bandwagon. Okay, so now we are taking a vote on the holdover. I would say when I called him from my city phone, so he did not know who was calling him. He picked up immediately. We were able to talk because I asked him why planning commission, all of those types of things. So I expect that he would be responsive to any of you who don't know him. All right, so motion to hold over. Let's take a vote on that.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
No.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 5-1.
All right, so we will be holding over that appointment so that council members have time to call the candidate and speak to him directly. Next, we have an appointment to make for the Commission of the Conservation of the Environment following the resignation of Matt Ryan. We received an application from Laura Bond to consider the appointment. Just to remind you, everyone should have both of these people's resumes in their emails. She's has an MPH, and she's currently working her way through the APHA Climate for Health Ambassador Program. So her background's in health, and she has a demonstrated interest in the relationship between health and climate change. And she's, got a strong background, mostly in health, but would be bringing a slightly different perspective to the commission. I would entertain a motion for her appointment.
the motion.
I'll
Motion-
second.
Motion by Councilman Kavanaugh, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. Any discussion? Councilman Kavanaugh.
Based on her resume and reputation, I think she's going to be very interesting and bring an additional useful skill set to the Environmental Commission. I've been impressed by the assortment of people we've been able to get to serve. And I think again, it bodes well for, opening the tent up a little bit and getting people in that might not have time for, a very intensive gig, but have these skill sets that we get to call on when we need them. So I support her nomination.
Thank you. Anyone else like to discuss? Okay. With that, the clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
So Laura Bond has been appointed to the Commission for the Conservation of the Environment. Next, we have setting our public hearing. We have one public hearing that we need to set for our next business meeting. The City of Binghamton will hold a public hearing regarding RL 24-173, an ordinance to discontinue a portion of Overland Drive. Okay, so now we can move on to tonight's public hearing, our first of tonight's public hearings. Starting with RL 24-167, an ordinance authorizing the sale of a portion of Overland Drive to Min and Shaw. City residents are welcome to speak. You each have 5 minutes. Is anyone here to speak about that first public hearing relating to Overland Drive? Come on down. Welcome. Welcome. So make sure you get the green light. Yep, you push the button. And these mics need you to speak pretty close to them.
How's that? My name is Gary Tauber. I own the property at 65 Harding, which is borders Overland Drive. And I haven't had a chance to read the proposal, what exactly is going to happen. But my first instinct was it severely limits the paths of entrance and egress to all the properties up on Harding and the other streets associated.
Thank you. Is there anything else you would like to add?
Property value. I'm thinking it's probably going to hinder property values up in that area since it limits paths of entrance and egress also.
Thank you.
Well, tell you the truth, I really didn't have a lot of time from when I got the letter to now to prepare, but I definitely wanted to make those points
Cool.
known.
So I'm your councilwoman.
Okay.
And because this is a public hearing and not public comment, I'm allowed to engage with you. So please do continue to reach out. I can pass you my business card as well if you're here at the end of the meeting.
Okay.
We're
Well-
not voting on it tonight, so
Okay.
we have more time to connect and discuss.
Okay, and the other thing I probably should mention is I own 15 acres that is very close to the intersection of Overland and Harding. And that would be a path of entrance and egress to that property also. And only a small portion of that is in the city of Binghamton.
Thank you so much.
The proposal, are we going to get to see that tonight? I know it says make an appointment. I didn't know whether it was going to be
So
presented.
we'll have to go back to the packet for the week that the public hearing was set. We'll have the clerk look it up for you. Well, it's already posted online, the RL, the request
Okay,
is up there, but we'll get you the dates.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If you don't,
Councilman Kavanaugh.
Right. sir, if you don't mind, I just, so we saw some pictures and footage of the state of Overland Drive, which
Mhm.
is not essentially built to normal municipal street standards. Do you use it? I mean, and it's impassable during the winter. I mean, the city does not maintain it during the winter. Is that,
I've used it in the winter months, so, but yes, it is in poor condition, and I was always hoping that the city would, start maintaining that road, up to a level where people could use it. I can't say that's ever happened, but
okay.
if you look at GIS map, now you're looking at going to all those residences up in that area by Burr Avenue. All the other streets are half streets.
Right.
And there's no other way there.
Okay. Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there
Anything else?
anybody else have any questions or which? Okay. Well, thank you so much. You have my contact and you have the info on the date to find the packet with more details.
Yes, I do. Thank you
Perfect.
very much.
Have a great day. Anyone else for the public hearing? For the first of the two public hearings? All right, with that, do I have a motion to close the first public here? Oh, I guess I should ask, is there any emails, anything submitted to the clerk? Okay. Oh. Okay. So with that, do I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. And with that, we can move on. Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. With that, we can move on to public comment. Come on down, please be respectful. You have 5 minutes. And if you're not the first one down, you can line up in these chairs right over here if you're also interested in speaking. Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Rich Bucci. I live at 204 Leroy Street in the city of Binghamton. I'm here this evening to speak in opposition to RL 24-151. This would replace the current mayor form of government with a city manager council form of government. I really believe that democracy is at its best when it's closest to the people. The mayor council form of government is exactly that. It is democracy at its best. The mayor and members of city council are directly elected by the citizens of Binghamton, and they represent the most fundamental interests of all of its residents. The city of Binghamton mayor council form of government works exceptionally well. To quote an old adage, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Our form of government isn't broken. The current system keeps both the mayor and city council directly accountable to the citizens of the city of Binghamton. In a city manager form of government, city council, which appoints the city manager, becomes a legislative and in essence, the executive branch of government. It regulates the mayor to a ceremonial role. The idea to fundamentally change our form of government to a city manager is not coming from any grassroots consensus of our citizens. There's no outcry to radically transform our system of government. Before a change of this magnitude is considered by City Council, a comprehensive study with data specific to the city of Binghamton should be prepared and presented by the proponents of the legislation. As far as I know, this has not occurred. Theoretically, it should be a moot point because I don't believe a study of this magnitude is necessary or needed because the proposed change to a city manager form of government is also not needed. However, if there is ever a proposal to study this form of government as a city manager council form of government, the cost should be incurred by the proponents of the legislation. In conclusion, there really are no compelling reasons to change the form of government that has functioned exceptionally well since Binghamton's inception. This form of government is used by the overwhelming majority of the 62 cities in the state of New York. I urge you to leave this misconceived idea in committee. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone else here to speak for public comment? If you are, welcome down. If not, I'll check with the clerk. Is there anything to read? There is not. Nothing submitted today. Are you? All right. Well, then we get to thank you again to everyone who spoke. We can move on to second read legislation. We'll start with introductory ordinance 024-69 considered in finance. Councilman Kavanaugh.
I'd like to motion to pass introductory ordinance 2469, ordinance to amend the 2024 general fund and insurance budget for additional legal fees and expenses.
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilman Kavanaugh, seconded by Councilman Costi. Discussion.
We've had discussion at first reading and then at the finance committee meeting, and now does anyone else have any other questions, comments, or concerns? Some of the larger issues and budgeting issues I think we will revisit during budgets hearings in a couple of weeks. Other than that, this is basically moving money around to pay the legal bills we have already incurred. So
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, with that, the clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I,
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye,
Thank you. That is 6-0.
the ordinance passes. Now we move on to our first reading legislation. We start with ordinance 24-72, considered in employees, with Councilman Porter out, who would like to introduce.
I'll do it.
Councilman Dundon.
I'd like to introduce ordinance 24-72. I would like to make the motion on ordinance 24-72. It's an ordinance to amend the 2024 budget for out of title pay for a junior accountant.
I'll second.
Motioned by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. Discussion. Well, clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I,
Councilmember Dundon. Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
Thank you. The ordinance passes. Next, we have introductory ordinance 24-73, considered in planning. Councilman Hotchkiss.
Like to make a motion to adopt introductory ordinance 24-73. This is an ordinance authorizing the sale of 206, 206.5, 208, 210 Henry Street with Kearney Realty and Development Group.
I'll second.
Motioned by Councilman Hotchkiss, seconded by Councilman Costi. Discussion. Councilman Kavanaugh.
this might be a question more relating to their overall plan, but in looking at the building plan for the City of Lofts building, their proposal, so according to current zoning regulations, will require 79 spots, and they've come up with 40, 10 at 162 Henry and 30 at the Rumble Ponies currently. So this leaves 10 at 162 Henry and only creates 21, if I counted correctly, at the new spots. They're short of the short amount that they were asking for before. I mean, I don't know, that's not a reason to make this happen. It's a comment for how they're moving forward in the future. So there's nobody here I thought somebody would be here to discuss this. So, and also,
Would you like to make a motion to hold over?
do we
first
have
read?
do we have the contract for,
Are you going strictly from like what you're counting in the site plan right now?
yes,
I think that might not reflect their total number of lots. I'm remembering from Sarah's presentation that there was, not only was it like the lease with the Rumble Ponies, but then there was,
162 Henry.
yeah, further down where the overpass is, there was mention of lots there that aren't reflected.
That's the lots they're buying, I think. Unless I missed something.
okay.
I might have missed something.
Do you guys want to hold it over?
Yeah. Like maybe there's
Bye.
a motion sitting in there to hold over.
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'd like to make a
hold-
motion to hold over.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilwoman Middleton, seconded by Councilman Dundon. Any discussion on a holdover?
I think I'm pretty confident that there is the correct amount of lots and it might not be shown here right now. I had a quick discussion with Sarah again earlier this week because we were talking about zoning and eliminating parking requirements. But the intention of this legislation was to help them meet the requirements for their application for the state funding. And they have to meet the city regulation, and I'm pretty confident that she would have found the correct amount of lots for their required spaces. And
All right, yeah, I
trust that assessment.
personally have no problem. I mean, it's giving them more parking. I just think it's not the amount of park. This does not substitute for the number of Rumble Pony slots, I don't think. So,
And I don't see an issue with asking Sarah to provide if she came up with the right number of spots.
are they,
But yeah, the grant deadline is the question. Is it this week?
I don't remember if it was this week or not, but it might become an issue if we don't approve this tonight. That's so.
Okay, so any further discussion on the possibility of a holdover? We can take a vote on that and determine whether we're voting on this tonight.
I don't think it should be held over.
Okay.
And I don't know if
Okay,
I don't think this is a finalized site plan
Yeah,
either.
Okay,
So
it,
it's,
I'm
agree.
pulling up, our clerk here pulled up an email. See, just a reminder, next week's okay. Introduce, needs to be voted on next, this is from, Sarah Gloss. We need to be voted on next week's business meeting in order to meet the funding application deadline set by NYSHCR. This is a resolution authorizing the sale of 4 city-owned lots on Henry Street to the Realty and Development Group. The properties will be used for parking in support of affordable housing, and artist preference development on the corner of traffic. Yeah, it doesn't,
I'd also,
but it does specify that it really needs to be done at this meeting.
the deputy mayor did just reach out to me and verify that this is due this week.
Okay.
Okay, so we can take a vote on the.
Actually, I'd like to
with-
rescind my second
I would
on the
like to-
motion.
I would like
Okay,
to rescind
rescind.
mine too.
all right.
Also,
no
if
more.
they're gonna, if it's a
Easier.
time limit. yeah.
Okay. So, the motion to hold over has been rescinded. And now we can move on to a vote on this legislation. So the clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton,
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh,
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon,
Aye.
Councilmember Costi,
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
Okay, the ordinance passes. Okay. Next, we have introductory ordinance 24-74 considered in employees. Councilman Dundon.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion on ordinance 24-74. It's an ordinance to amend the 2024 police budget to add a full-time parking meter checker.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilman Costi. Discussion.
I would just say that it's really needed. I think a lot of my constituent emails are from parking, traffic. In the second district, we have a problem with traffic, and just to have somebody on top of this, it might ease a lot of worries for people with driving and just in general. So we definitely need this to happen.
Anyone else? Being on traffic board, I definitely hear consistent issues with people overstaying their metered times downtown, and I think an uptick in enforcement may help that issue. So I'm very personally excited about this ordinance. Okay, anyone else? Clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
All right, the ordinance passes. Next, we have ordinance 24-75 considered in public works and parks. Councilman Dundon.
Yes, I'd like to make a motion on ordinance 24-75. It's an ordinance to amend the 2024 parks budget for liquid chlorine.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilman Costi. Discussion. Okay. The clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
The ordinance passes. Next, we have ordinance 024-72, considered an employees.
This would
Councilman
actually
Dundon.
be O 24-76.
76, there we go. Yes, 024-76, considered an employee. Councilman Dundon.
I'd like to make a motion on ordinance 24-76. It's an ordinance amending the 2024 clerk's office budget to adjust for responsibility adjustments.
Second.
Motioned by Councilman Dundon, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. Discussion. I guess I want to make sure that people who are following along understand that when these processes are done, when these adjustments are done, this is not purely reviewed by the clerk's office. The HR is involved. It's a process. People are working hard and out of their regular assignments. So thank you to the employees for doing that. Anyone else? Clerk can call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
The ordinance passes. Okay. We will now be discussing potential changes to the annual meeting schedule. And I guess I'll hand things over to Councilman Kavanaugh here. Do you want to share any
I guess
updates
I'm
on that?
yeah. So when we looked at the meeting schedule previously to schedule budget things, since the 15th, which is the last day, the mayor has to submit the budget to us, or technically E&A, I guess, has to submit the budget to us. Falls on a Sunday. We were asking him to do a presentation on Friday, the 13th. The mayor has requested the additional time of the weekend, the full time, to get any changes to the budget done and to us. So he will submit it by the deadline on Sunday. So look in your emails, everybody. But would like to come in on the 16th to actually present the budget. So I'm proposing now it escapes me. The charters, I can't remember if the charter says it has to be a special business meeting or a regular business meeting. I think it's technically a special business meeting. Special business meeting, right. So I'd like to schedule a special business meeting for the 16th at 6 p.m. for the mayor to present the budget to us.
I'll second.
What? Which one? No, it is definitely a special business meeting. Yes, okay.
So is there a motion to,
Making that motion.
I'll second.
okay. So the motion is to, is it a combo motion or should we be dissecting it apart?
Oh,
To
I guess I would like
remove
to
the 13th
cancel
And then,
a motion to cancel the meeting on the 13th.
okay.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilman Kavanaugh, seconded by Councilman Costi. Any discussion on canceling the meeting on September 13th? Okay. I will have the clerk call the roll.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That's 6-0.
Okay. So the September 13th budget hearing special meeting is canceled. And now I'll be accepting a motion for a replacement date.
I'd like to motion for a special business meeting to be scheduled for September 16th at 6 p.m. for the mayor's budget presentation.
I'll
I'll
second.
second.
Motion by Councilman Kavanaugh, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. Any discussion on the September 16th? I guess we picked a date there, but not a time.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Sounds great.
Okay, well, we're setting it now, so we'll figure it out. Yeah, our corporation counsel was pointing out that it's currently listed on the website, even though we have not selected it as being at 5 PM. That would personally not be my preference.
In
Me either.
5 PM is not your preference.
No.
All right, yeah, and
Me neither.
that's right. So, in his casual discussion with Councilman Costi earlier, he proposed moving it to 6 as well. So that's why I made the proposal for 6.
Okay.
So change the website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6 is better. I won't be able to make 5.
Right. Okay, so we have a motion for September 16th at 6 PM. That was motioned by Councilman Kavanaugh, seconded by Councilwoman Middleton. Discussion seems to have wrapped up. And we can now have a vote to set a special meeting for September 16th.
Councilmember Porter is absent. Councilmember Middleton.
Aye.
Councilmember Kavanaugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Dundon.
Aye.
Councilmember Costi.
Aye.
Councilmember Hotchkiss.
Aye.
Council President Matavetsky.
Aye.
Thank you. That is 6-0.
Okay, so we will have the presentation from the mayor about the budget on Monday, September 16th. And we will be receiving the budget on the 15th. Okay, so now we can do our council communications. Let's start with Councilman Kavanaugh.
Well, I'd like to thank really staff at Public Works and the Police Department for pulling off logistics and organization and keeping 2 major events in Binghamton well run. We had Porchfest and LUMA in the last couple of weeks. And of course, the event organizers for both of those events deserve a big shout out. But I think our city employees really did their job. I had a pretty in-depth conversation with Sergeant Legos at during LUMA about some of their logistics that they face and the amount of agencies and stuff participating and what goes into it. It's really quite amazing, just that aspect and how the city and the county step up and contribute and coordinate. So just a shout out to them. And also thank you for residents that turned out to the little event that Democratic Committee helped organize for Kenny and I's district at Rec Park. And I know there's other ones going on. I had some very quality conversations with some constituents, and my goodness, kids love snow cones.
They do.
Thank you, Councilwoman Middleton.
I would just like to piggyback off what Robert said about the 2 events, DPW, but the next day it was actually clean downtown. So thank you for everyone who did that. I know we spoke about traffic, and I'm just going to speak about it again. That is my main call on the west side, and even now with the students back, even as a driver, I'm not a skilled driver, but I'm a driver. I'll get you where we need to go. But I would suggest that with school in session, people just take a moment and stop at the stop sign. Like literally, you can save a life, a crash, things that can be avoided. So if we can slow down while we're driving and just try to use grace with others while we're driving to make it safe. And last but not least, today's September 11th. I know people who were personally affected by this, family members, loved ones, and I would just like to say rest in peace to all the people that lost their lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Dundon.
I don't have any communications at this time.
Thank you, Councilman Costi.
I forgot something.
Mine, Councilman Costi.
Go for it.
Thank you.
Councilman Kavanaugh.
So, all right. No, you can mention. I'll
Oh.
do my thing. Anyway, this coming Sunday at Rec Park at 12 or 12:30 is the dedication of the new Rod Serling statue that Assemblywoman Lepardo in particular and the Rod Serling Foundation were instrumental in securing. And then again, Binghamton Parks employees stepped up and really did some great work helping to install it and secure it. I got a sneak peek the morning it was installed, and it's now under wraps. But it's we don't get to do too many fun dedication-y type things, so this is a great one and really promotes the heritage of our area and Binghamton's probably most famous resident right from the west side. So come on over to Rec Park.
Yay. I'm sorry, I just had to add two more things. On sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm coming. On next Sunday, I was speaking of September 11th, but next Sunday at the stadium, the firefighters will have their walk and run. I did it last year and I'll be there this year. I don't know if I'm gonna walk up the steps, but I'll be there to support them in that. And also we're starting back our West Side meeting, so the last Thursday of each month. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, back to Councilman Costi.
Sorry.
All right, guys. Next Tuesday, the 17th, there's a Southside Neighborhood Assembly meeting at MacArthur Elementary School in the cafeteria. I'll be there. I believe Mayor Cram will be there as well. Probably council president as well. So I invite everyone in the South Side to come out to that. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Councilman Hotchkiss.
I'd just like to reiterate some of what Councilman Kavanaugh had already stated, but the LUMA and Porchfest, we're really lucky to have both of those events, and it's pretty difficult to get those all together and to keep those events running for our community. And I just think that, I appreciate everything that goes into that. And I know it's not just the organizers, it's the community, it's the city workers, it's the county workers. And I think it just makes me appreciate Binghamton when those events happen, and makes me think about all that we're capable of and all the things that there are to enjoy here. I had my neighborhood meeting last week, so I have a laundry list of things to catch up with. So I'm gonna give me a month to follow up on those, and then you can meet me at the October meeting. But that's all for now.
Thank you. Okay, I've got a bunch of notes here. September 14th is Blues on the Bridge from 12 to 10 p.m. So what do we say? South Side adjacent, because it's just over the South Washington Street Bridge. So that's a nice little confluence of several districts. And that's a free event. It's from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. Discovery Center has its third Friday free admission night, September 20th. September 21st through the 22nd is the Broome County Art Trail. There are 14 sites. I want to highlight two. Site 6 is at the Discovery Center, and they have 3 different artists that they're highlighting. Spot Girl Design, Sarah Carmen, and Sierra Hartman Fine Arts. And site 2 that I want to highlight is Artisan Gallery at 223 State Street. There's several artists there, but Pamela Gay from the South Side, who does photography and writing, will have her work shown there. And the times for Saturday, the 21st of September is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Sunday, the 22nd from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We already mentioned the Southside Neighborhood Assembly with guest speaker Mayor Cram. I wanted to make sure people are aware that Lower Mary now has a food connection station, and I'd like to thank Jordan Trice for putting that together with Good Neighbors. So that's kind of like a little free library, but with food inside. So if you are on the south side and in need of some items, you can find them in that box on Lower Mary. Blue bags. One of the items I'm working on this month is getting more shops on Southside East to sell blue bags. I've reached out to one store that is interested. I am working with Waste Zero to get the contracts updated. Apparently, we haven't taken on new vendors in a while. I will be announcing hopefully some new stores with Wise on Conklin closed. It reduces the location down to Rite Aid on Conklin for Southside East right now. So we'll hopefully be bringing in one or more stores to make it a little bit more convenient to throw out your waste while City Council continues to assess how we want to do trash pickup in the future. But for now, we have this system. Woodland Ave, I'm still accepting ideas and input relating to the proposal and traffic board to close, to turn the last leg of that street into a one-way. So if you have ideas, I'm very interested. I did look into traffic, the traffic accidents there to try and understand if it was local drivers or non-local drivers. Unfortunately, it's local drivers, trying to think of different ways of trying to solve that problem. But ideas very much welcome. We did a walk, the deputy mayor, myself, and the acting commissioner of DPW, Paludi. We walked with some residents from where Wise was on Conklin Ave to Wise on Robinson and generated a list of improvements for pedestrians that are on the DPW to-do list. I really am grateful to the deputy mayor and the acting commissioner for being so willing to use their lunch hour to do that with me since the last meeting. And then I guess as of my kind of 9/11 close, just say the name of someone who died, Paul Battaglia. He was a Binghamton University alum, and he was very proud of his job on the 100th floor of Tower 1. So thank you to the heroes, and may the memory of the victims be a blessing. And with that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.